Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Bosch WAU28R90GB washing machine. Now this particular model has a 9kg load and a maximum spin speed of up to 1400 spin. And what I want to do today is to show you around the washing machine and some of the features and benefits that it offers. So I've got it plugged in, let's have a look. So one thing to check, and I always say it about any appliance that you buy, is to make sure it fits in before you purchase it. So things like the width are pretty standard. So on this model it's just under 60 centimeters wide and the height is 85 centimeters high. So fortunately these are fairly standard. The main things that vary are the depth. So on this machine, if you go from the very back to the front lip here, then that's around 58 centimeters. If you are including the door as well, then of course it is going to be deeper. That's at 63 centimeters. And that's what they would call the minimum install depth. So that does include, that goes right to the back of the machine. It is important to have a measure first, because you will find, especially on machines like this where it has got a larger load of 9kg, then the machine itself will be a little bit deeper than say if you had an older machine that was say 6 or 7 kilograms. So first of all I'll show you the display itself. So the on and off button is in the middle here. And I must say this is one of, if not the best looking display on the market. This kind of display Bosch have used for a couple of years now, and I must say it goes down really well with the customers. It's lovely and bright, nice and easy to read. So the first ones are the cotton programs. So these are so you've got cotton coloured, cottons, and then the Eco 40 to 60. Now with these ones, these are the main programs that you can use with a full load. So you can use any of these on a 9kg load. Quite a few of these other programs you can only use for say 4 or even 2 kilograms. Because you will notice that whenever you change the program, that it will actually display, so you've got the load size and the time remaining of the program. So for each program, so for this one, the Eco 40 to 60, that's a maximum load of 9kg, and you can put, and that goes up to 3.5 hours. With these times, I will say that these are always initial times, because with the machine it will actually take in the amount of water according to the wash load, and what it will do is it will actually adjust the time depending on the load. So if you've only put say half a load in, then clearly it's not going to take the 3.5 hours. But with this program, the Eco 40 to 60, this is quite a new program that is a legal requirement on all machines from 2021. So you will find it should be on all washing machines. This is a really good program because it's very energy efficient, and with this you can't select the temperature, it will actually select the temperature for you. So these are designed for clothes that are designed to be washed between 40 and 60 degrees, and it will, as I say, you can't select the temperature. You can adjust the spin speed if you want to, but it's taking the guesswork out of it for you, and it's trying to make it a lot more energy efficient. Talking about energy efficiency, what you will find is on the right hand side here, there is a little display, and what it will do is it actually shows you for the water and electricity as to how energy efficient the program is. And it's the sort of thing that as you move around, so it goes from 1 to 5, so 1 is the most energy efficient and 5 is the most inefficient. So as you move it around, you go to some of the other programs. So clearly if you go up to 4, then that's not quite as efficient as if you were choosing a program where it's got 2s. So it's just a really good indicator, because when you're selecting these programs, you've got no idea how energy efficient they are, but it can make a huge difference. So just to give you an idea, on things like the water consumption, that if you were to select the cotton program on a 40 degree wash, then if you're doing a full load, then that will use around 90 litres of water. Whereas if you were to select the cotton colour, then if you were to do the same, so a full 9kg load, still at the same temperature, then you're looking around 57 litres of water. As we move further around, you've got things like the rinse and the spin only. So with this one, that's the spin and drain. So that's good if you've say hand washed something and you just want to give something a quick spin in the machine. On this one, the rinse and spin, I mean you'll notice that there's only one bar of each for the energy efficiency, clearly because it's not heating anything. As you move a bit further around, you've got the drum clean option. This is becoming fairly standard on a lot of washing machines nowadays. It's something which quite a few people have been asking for, because they've noticed that sometimes, it can depend how you look after your machine, but quite a few people tend to get black mould around the seal itself. That's normally caused by not drying it after each wash, and also leaving the door shut. But the best way really is to use this. So if you try and use the drum clean every now and then, what this will do is this will just take it through a quite high temperature wash. And what Bosch recommend is, it really depends how you use the machine. So if the majority of washes that you're using are, say, around 30 or 40 degrees, or even cooler than that, then Bosch will recommend to use this program probably once a month. If the majority of washes that you're doing are slightly higher than that, say if you're going 40 or 60, or if you are using the 90-degree programs, then the drum clean option you wouldn't need to use as often. As you come around to here, so you've got some of these specialised programs, things like the shirt program. That can be very good, and I think a lot of people tend to ignore some of these programs, but these can be good. So if say if you've got kids at school that do wear things like school shirts or blouses, then this could be a good one to use, because although it's only a 2 kilogram load, and it did just pop up there a moment ago saying 2 kilograms, it can be a good option because you find that it will adjust the way it washes to get the full benefit, to get the clothes cleaner, so things like the shirts. And then the last main program to mention is this one. This is the Super Quick 15 or 30, and as it mentions, so these are either 15-minute programs or 30-minute programs, and this one, as it's first selected, is 30 minutes, and that's a maximum load of up to 4 kilograms. Now you will notice down the right hand side here we've got an option called speed, and if you press that, then that reduces it to 15 minutes, and it's a 2 kilogram wash as well. But the speed option isn't only for this program. If you move around to, say, the cotton program, then as standard it says that it's going to take around 3.5 hours, but if we press the speed button, then that reduces it to about an hour and a half. So it does reduce the actual load you can put in there, so it takes it down from a 9 down to a 5 kilogram. What you'll also notice is that when I press that, it does change the energy efficiency. So you will find that by doing a quicker wash, it's trying to do everything a lot quicker, and because of that, then it's not as energy efficient. So what I normally recommend is, if you have got time, then try not to use the speed button. It's something that Bosch will recommend as well. Try not to use it. Really only use it if you are in a hurry, if you have got several loads to do, and if you need to get them done in a certain time. So now I've covered the majority of the programs, then I'll show you some of the other options right on the right hand side here. I've already pretty much covered the temperature, so for each program you just select the temperature that you want. So if you wanted a 90 degree, or if you want to select the 30 degree, then you just press the button, and also the spin speed, you can easily select that. What you've also got you've actually got different stains. So what this will do is this will actually adjust the way the machine will operate for each program, depending on if you have got a stain in there. So you've got 4 different stain options. So you've got the grass, you've got blood, oil and wine. So you can only select one at a time. So for example, if you were repairing your car while drinking a glass of wine, then if you've got both stains on your clothes, then you can't select both. So it will just adjust the way it washes. It doesn't necessarily increase the wash time, but you will notice that the energy efficiency does change. So if we were to select the blood option, then it does increase it by quite a lot, but if you just select the oil option, then it doesn't change it at all. So it's nice just to have the flexibility. What you've also got is the extra rinses, so I'll just take that off. So if you were to, for example, let's select the cotton colour, you've got extra rinse options. So as standard that could take 4.5 hours, As I mentioned earlier, don't be scared of these times. You will find that when you actually start the program, the time will reduce quite a bit. It's very rare that it will actually take that long. But if you have got somebody in the household with sensitive skin, then what you can do is you can actually increase the number of rinses at the end of the program. So just show you again, so a standard that could be 4 hours 24, and you can actually add 3 extra rinses on, so it could take around an extra half an hour. But for some people that could be one of the main priorities of buying a washing machine. You know, if you have got, as I say, if you have got people in the household with sensitive skin, then that could make a huge difference to you having this option. So you've got several options along the bottom here. First one is the pre-wash. This is an option that, I'll be honest, not a lot of people talk about now. This is something that is very good if you've got things like family members that play football or rugby, they've got really dirty football or rugby kits each week, then that could be a good option to choose. You've got the easy iron option. So what that will do is that is a lower agitation spin at the end, and it doesn't go up to the full 1400. You can select 1200 on that program, but by selecting the easy iron option, then it's basically a reduced creasing option, which tends to go down quite well. The next option on here is the rinse hold. So by selecting that, what it will do is it will actually keep the clothes in the final rinse water before it does the final spin. So that could be good. So if you've gone out, if you know you're not going to be back for a while, you don't want the clothes to be left there after they've done the final spin. So just enable the rinse hold option. I do point this out because quite a few machines don't have it now, so that's quite a good one. The next one is called silent wash, and what this will do, this is an option which is very good if you're going to use the time delay. Now I will just cover that. So you've got the time delay option, so you can actually delay the end of the program, and I won't go all the way, but it goes up to 24 hours that you can delay the start of the program, and that's really good if you've got things like economy 7. So if you've got cheap electricity during the night, then that could be a very good option. It does go up in half an hour increments. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure why, because if you're going to delay it for 13 hours or 13 and a half, it doesn't really make a huge difference. But I was saying about this option, the silent wash. First of all, what it does is it will actually reduce the spin speed, so it won't normally spin at the full 1400 spin, but what it also does, it gets rid of the audible beep. So it will normally beep at the end of the program to tell you it's finished. You can turn that off if you want to as a permanent thing, but what this will do for this program, it will actually turn the beep off at the end, and it reduces the spin speed, basically to make it a lot quieter. So if you have got, say, young children in the house, say if the bedroom is just above the kitchen or utility, and if they're quite sensitive to noise, then that could be a really good option as well. So I did just mention that you can turn the beep off if you want to, and that's very easy. All you do is you just press this, so you just turn that off like that. So you can just increase that to 4 if you want to. And you've also got other options on here. So you've got things like the brightness of the display. So if you decide it's too bright, then you can increase or decrease it. So this button actually doubles up as a child lock, and what this will do is if you press and hold that for 3 seconds, you mainly do it while the program is in operation. You don't normally do it beforehand, but what it will do is it will actually lock the display, and it will stop young children coming and just fiddling with the dials. So, because I must admit, if I was a cheeky little 2-year-old, then this kind of display is something I'd love to come and play with. And then to release it, all you do is you press and hold that button for 3 seconds, and it will actually enable you to use the machine again. Now the next button on here is a memory program. So if, for example, if we're on, say, the cotton colour program, a 90 degree and a 1400 spin, so if that was a popular program that we use, what you'll find is each time it will actually change it back to 840 degrees. Now I know it doesn't take a lot of effort to do that, to change it, but if it's a program that you're using a lot, then what you can do is you can set that into the memory. And all you do is you press and hold that button, and that has memorized that program now. So if I change the program, so if I was using the Eco 40-60, and if I wanted to use the Cottons and Colours, or my favourite program, then I just press that, and you don't have to turn the dial. It will actually select it for you. So I'll just show you that again. So I'm on a different program, I want to use my favourite program, just press it, it's straight there, and on the right hand side here we've got the pause and the start button. It's doubled up in the same button, and all I do is press start. I won't do it at the moment because clearly we're in a showroom and I've not got the water connected to it, but with this, that's the start button. You have got the pause option on here. They call it a reload feature, and what most manufacturers will say, it's not just Bosch, that if you want it, for example, if you've left a sock on the floor, you've just started the program, it's not taking the water in, press the pause button, it will disable the lock on the door, and it will enable you to open the door and pop the sock in. Clearly, if it gets too far into the program, if you've got water in the machine, just leave that item for the next wash and just let it carry on. So when it comes to opening the door, then it's nice and easy. You just got a nice easy grip handle on the right hand side here. I must say I would expect it from Bosch, but we're still using things like metal door catches, metal hinges. It's something I do point out quite often now. Some of the cheaper brands are starting to go to plastic door hinges, and we do find they don't last. It's certainly worth paying a bit extra to get something like this, a good quality machine. As we go inside, then, as I mentioned earlier, it is a 9 kilogram machine. You will find that it's a lovely big drummer here. The porthole side here is quite good as well, so it's a little bit bigger than standard, so it's nice and easy to get the clothes in and out of. So on the left hand side here we've got the soap drawer. This is a fairly standard soap drawer. Clearly it's very well labelled out, so you've got the main wash, pre-wash conditioner in here. What you'll also find is that when you're using things like liquids in the main wash, then if you are using liquids, then you have got this option on the left hand side here. This just drops down. It's something that has been around for several years, and the main advantage is it just stops the liquid draining away too early in the program. A lot of people want to keep these clean, so if you press the button, then it just enables you to take that out. What you can do, I mean, clearly you've got some water in here. That's from when the machines are tested in the factory. But what you can do is you can actually take this part off, remove it from the front part. And the reason that's kept separate is that this part itself you can actually put, say, in the dishwasher or give it a nice hot soapy wash. But I wouldn't recommend putting that part in as well, because it's quite like a shiny finish, and it's got the logo on the front. If you put it in the dishwasher, there's a danger that it will either wash the logo off or make it a slightly matte finish, which you wouldn't want to do. To put that back in, it just drops back in and you're ready to go. At the bottom of the machine, if you open this flap, then you've got access to the pump just behind here. I won't undo this at the moment because you will find that there might be some residual water in here. As I mentioned, all of the machines are tested in the factory. Put my teeth back in. But what you have got here is you've actually got a little hose. So if for example you had a power cut, and if everything was stuck in the machine, then what you want to do is you want to try and remove everything out. So you will find that you've got a little hose here. So if you put a bowl or a tray or something under here, then just take the cap out and then the water will come out. You will find if it's full of water, it could take a while to do. But what you've also got is you've actually got a catch on the right hand side here. So normally if you get a screwdriver or something, just push it down and then that just opens the lock so that you can get everything out. Clearly you don't want to do that too early, because if you do that before you take the water out, then you're going to get soggy feet. Now something else to mention is that these machines actually use something called an eco silence drive, and it's basically a very energy efficient motor that is very quiet. It's something, when we're selling a washing machine, I always say to people to look at the noise levels of the machine, On this particular one, in the final spin, so at the highest spin speed, it's only at 72 decibels. Now I know for a lot of people it doesn't mean a lot, but just compare it to other machines, because you can find some machines in a similar price range can be up to sort of 75, 76 decibels, and that can make quite a difference. So certainly think about the noise level, because, and I mentioned earlier about the time delay, if it's on overnight, then clearly you don't want to buy a machine that's going to be very noisy. Now I'll just show you around the back of the machine. I know for a lot of people it's not too important, but I find that because I've just redone my kitchen at home myself, and the location of some of the pipes running along the back were quite important. So I'll just show, as I say, just show you around the back. You've actually got the waste hose on the left hand side here. The mains is just at the bottom left here. So that's quite a good length lead. And you've also got the water on the right hand side here. You do get a new hose with it. We'd normally try and recommend using the hose, so unless the installer has recommended to keep the old hose and just change the washer in it, then we'd normally recommend trying to use a new hose. The other thing to point out, if you're installing it yourself, then just behind here you've got these are called transit bolts. You've got 4 of these, so you've got 2, 3, 4. You have to take these out, so even before you plug it in, the first thing you do when you unpack the machine, take these bolts out. This just holds the drum still during transit. What you will find is if you don't take them out, then it will damage the machine and it won't be covered by any warranty. Now if you are thinking of buying one of these machines, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. I hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Bosch WAU28R90GB washing machine. Please give us a thumbs up on a YouTube video, click subscribe and leave any comments below. I'd always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video itself. If you have got any questions on the washing machine, then leave it in the comments and I will get back to you. Also, if you have got one of the higher end Bosch machines, it doesn't have to be this machine necessarily. If you've got say one that's a couple of years old, then let me know what you think about it. Be honest about it, whether you like it or you don't like it, because I always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for watching.